Hello, welcome to the Mayor Best Friends YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. To my right is a man by the name of Wooden Box. Would you like to say hello?
Hey, how's it going, yo?
Great, great. He is our certified expert that is going to talk about berry farming here. And before we talk about berry farming, we must give a disclaimer. This video is not going to be a tutorial video. This video is just going to be a video that explains certain concepts that may help you in your berry farming endeavors. So without further ado, Wood, are you ready to jump into our berry farming topic?
Yeah, I think so.
Great, great. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the Wahlmer and Psyduck Pale locations. And by the way, they can be hotkeyed. The location for Wahlmer Pale in Hoenn is going to be at Route 104, and this is the route before Rustboro City. So go inside the berry shop and talk to the lady with the 90s haircut, and she should be able to get you the Wahlmer Pale. And as for Unova, go to Metropolitan City south of the airstrip, talk to the elderly gentleman, and he should give you a Psyduck Pale. Now let's go ahead and talk about the harvesting tool. In Hoenn, you can go to Route 104 and go to the berry shop, and you should be able to speak with the lady to the southwest of the berry shop and talk to her, and then leave the shop and then go back in the shop, and then you should see her at the front counter. Talk to her and she should be able to provide you harvesting tools. As for Unova, go to the Abundant Shrine, and once you're there, go inside the house and talk to the lady to the right of the room, and she should be able to let you purchase the harvesting tools for your berry farming endeavors. As for seeds, you may have the Wahlmer Pale or Psyduck Pale. You may have the harvesting tools, but do you know how to plant the seeds? Well, in order to plant the seeds, you first need the seeds themselves. So now, where you can get the seeds? Well, you can get the seeds by using the pickup mechanic after you get done battling wild Pokemon. And you can search for seeds via the GTL. And would you like to talk about ways to obtain the seeds from GTL?
Certainly so, yeah. So, as you mentioned, you can get your harvesting tools either at the Abundant Shrine, which is it's a location you get access to after completing the Elite Four in Unova. There's also the flower shop just south of Rustboro. You get your harvesting tools, and then you can take seeds from all the berries that you get throughout the game, whether they're given to you by NPCs or you find them through pickup. That's an alright way to get seeds, don't get me wrong. I would recommend saving up a little bit of money and investing into the seeds that you need. You're going to make your money back pretty quickly, especially if you intend to sell the product. But that is what I would recommend doing to begin an operation, is save up a little bit of money as an investment towards seeds and purchase them off the GTO. You're going to save yourself a lot of time. You're going to spend a lot of time saving up the money, but it's going to be less time than you would if you could just pick up as many berries as you could.
You can pick up the seeds. Just to let you know, I don't have any berries listed on GTL, and Wood, as of this taping, you don't have any seeds on GTL.
Right, as of right now, not so much, but probably within the next hour, of course, I'll probably be posting some up there.
All right, and if you do buy some seeds from Wood, keep in mind you're profiting off of a man that has helped you in your berry farming endeavors. So, so essentially, you're giving him a tip. So before I talk about the water gauge, I do have to list all the berry seed combos. Let's go and talk about some berries in the competitive play. Lepa berry, plain sweet, plain bitter, very spicy. The growth time is 20 hours, and the yield is 6 to 7. Slumberry, Very spicy, very dry, very sweet. The growth time is 44 hours. Yield is 8 to 10. Citrus berry, very sweet, very bitter, very sour. The growth time is 44 hours. Yield is 8 to 10. Lychee berry, very spicy, plain dry, and very sweet. The growth time is 67 hours, and the yield is 11 to 13. Salic berry, very sweet, plain bitter, and very sour. The growth time is 67 hours, and the yield is 11 to 13. Prismberry, you need plain spicy, plain sweet, and plain dry. The growth time is 16 hours, and the yield is 3 to 6. Pitaya berry, very spicy, very bitter, and plain sour. The growth time is 67 hours, and the yield is 11 to 13. Asperberry, you need 3 plain sour seeds. The growth time is 16 hours, and the yield is 3 to 6. Chestoberry, you need 3 plain dry seeds. The growth time is 16 hours, and the yield is 3 to 6. Pecha berry, you need 3 plain sweet seeds, and the growth time is 16 hours, and the yield is 5 to 6. Raspberry, you need 3 plain bitter seeds, and the growth time is 16 hours, and the yield is 5 to 6. And cherryberry, you need 3 plain spicy seeds, and the growth time is 16 hours, and the yield is 3 to 6. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Eevee reducing berries. So if you're interested in a self-help video about Eevee training, well, I made a video with Nikhilar about Eevee training. So if you're interested in that topic, feel free to check out that video. Eevee reducing berries. You can get the pomeg berry, which the combo for that is plain spicy, plain bitter, and very spicy. Growth time is 44 hours. Yield is 6 to 9. Kelpsie berry, you need plain dry, plain sour, and very dry. The growth time is 44 hours. The yield is 6 to 9. Qualap berry, you need plain spicy, plain sweet, and very sweet. The growth time is 44 hours. The yield is 6 to 9. Houndew berry, you need plain dry, plain bitter, and very bitter. The growth time is 44 hours. The yield is 6 to 9. Greppa berry, you need plain sweet, plain sour, and very sour. The growth time is 44 hours. The yield is 6 to 9. And tomato berry, you need plain spicy, plain dry, and very spicy. The growth time is 44 hours, and the yield is 6 to 9. And now, since you have all those berry combinations memorized, you may be watering them. And you may see a picture of the berry that you're watering, and you may see the water gauge. Now, every berry has a wilt time of 8 hours. So since you plant a lot of berries, can you explain to everybody how the water gauge works?
Yeah, certainly so. So when you plant a berry, what you're gonna see right away is first the sprite of the berry you planted and 5 water droplets. And you're also gonna see 2 of those filled, I suppose. So 2 out of 5 will be there. With an 8-hour wilt time, each drop is going to be worth about an hour and a half. I think it's a little bit more than an hour and a half, but when you first plant, the best thing to do right away is just water and then move to the next plot, plant, water, move to the next pot, plant, water. And then once you have 5 drops of water full, you're going to have 8 hours starting right when you watered it all the way down to it becoming dry. It's really easy, especially if it's a lower wait time, like 16 hours. You just water it when you plant it, water it once about 8 hours later, and then you don't have to worry about watering it again until it's ready to be harvested. With longer wait times, like, geez, some of them get up to like 60 hours or so, then you're going to be obviously wanting to water them once every 8 hours. Any more than that is a little bit excessive, but I mean, if your schedule says that you have to water it, let's say you're going someplace and you'll be gone for a few hours, then you can just water it at 4 hours in, and that will reset the timer back up to 8. So that's really all you have to keep in mind. Every time you water the plant, it's just going to reset that 8-hour timer. It's important not to water twice in the same hour and a half because that is going to flood the plant. If you water it when it already has 5 drops, that is going to flood the plant, and that may decrease the yield. And obviously, you're not going to want to let the plant go dry, because that will also do the same thing. It will serve to decrease the yield when you're ready to harvest. So instead of getting, let's say, like between 3 and 5 or 3 and 6, like a pecha berry, for example, between 3 and 6, let's say you let it go dry, you catch it in time before it dies. If it dies, you don't get anything, obviously, but let's say you catch it and it's dry, you may be looking at 2 or maybe even 1 seed from that plant. So always best to water when you can, but if you've got the time, just water once every 8 hours, because it's a lot easier than a lot of people make it out to be.
Just to let you know, when you hear the term very spicy or very sweet, very just means like a double plain. So essentially, you can still use a very bitter seed and a bitter seed to still make a raspberry, as an example. Am I right on that, Wood?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, so instead of doing plain bitter, plain bitter, plain bitter to make a raspberry, yeah, just like you said, you can do a plain bitter, very bitter, and just those 2 seeds combined will do a raspberry as well.
It's kind of analogous to Island 2 when you try to relearn moves and you can combine 2 mushrooms to make 1 big mushroom. It's kind of that mechanic, except it's seeds, but it's still the same thing essentially. Just to let you know, lychee berries are the most popular berries because you can sell them in the PokeMart for 1.3k per berry, which is pretty good of a sell time. It has a long growth time, but it's a good sell. You can sell a lot of them for pretty good money. And last but certainly not least, Wood, do you have any tips for newcomers to berry farming?
I guess, what is the objective of the operation? Are you growing to make money, or are you growing for personal use? Either way, you're going to want to, if this is just a one-time operation, like, oh, I need a bunch of Lychee berries because I'm going to go shiny hunting, then you might not really be concerning yourself with creating a self-sustaining operation. But more often than not, if you want to create an operation that starts to run itself, what you want to keep in mind is, what's the purpose? Is this to make money, or is this for personal consumption? You're going to need seeds. So to start the operation, you buy the seeds. Easy enough, right? But which seeds do you buy? That's a good question. Well, I would recommend buying plain seeds. And the plain seeds for, let's say you want to do Lychee berries, for example. We're going shiny hunting. We want Lychee berries. You're going to need plain sweet, plain bitter, and very spicy. Now, it would be easy enough just to go and buy those, no problem. But what you could do is you could buy plain sweet, plain spicy, plain bitter, plant those into raspberries, pecha berries, and cherry berries, respectively. Harvest those berries with harvesting tools, and then you're going to have a surplus of those seeds, more than you would have had before. You grow your Lychee berries. You have a whole plot of Lychee berries. You're using the plots in Mistralton. You're using all the plots in Abundant Shrine, and you're growing nothing but Lychees. Then what you do is you harvest them all. You harvest them all, and now you've got a bunch of Lychees. You're probably going to be looking at over 1,000 Lychees just from one harvest of Lychee berries.
Nice.
Now, what do you do with them? Do you use them all at once? You could, but then what do you do if you want to grow another harvest? What I recommend doing is selling them on the GTL, or perhaps even to an NPC that will buy them, but only sell enough to afford the next harvest's seeds. And that may be half, that may be over half, depending on the market. It may be under half, depending on how well they're selling. But you see what I'm getting at. You grow a bunch of Lychee berries, you reinvest half of the harvest into the seeds it will take to grow tomorrow's harvest. And sure, if you were just doing a one-time thing, I just want to grow Lychees once and then I have a whole bunch for a while, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, you grow a bunch of Lychees, You take half of them, sell them, use the money from those sales to rebuy the seeds you need to grow the next harvest. You plant them all, and you're still walking away with a decent amount of leppas. Not as much as you would have had you just walked away without replanting. But like I said, the point is to create an operation that begins to pay for itself. So anything you invest into seeds will pay itself off so quick, and you can use those leppas to start making money by just selling all of them. You could harvest all the leppas and then sell all the leppas at once, and then use half of that money to replant the leppas, and you still walk away with the cash from the rest of the sales. There's also selling seeds. You could get into selling seeds, but that is a whole different process that requires the use of harvesting tools, which best friends went over before. But yeah, just keep that in mind. You're gonna make a fat initial investment to begin the operation, but once you start to harvest those berries, depending on how well you water them and how quickly you harvest them when they're ready to be harvested, those berries that you pull are going to be the berries that plant your next harvest, whether you sell them or harvest the seeds and use the seeds to replant. Keep that in mind. Are you doing a single harvest, or are you trying to create an operation that begins to run itself for the most part?
You need like a certain stopwatch or something just to kind of see, like, man, I should log back on PokeMMO just to water my berries, and it you gotta set your schedule for that. Am I right on that, Wood?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Still, leppas have a 20-hour growth time, so just having a time of the day, or you plant them in the morning and you harvest them the next day. As long as you keep it at the same time, it's really going to help you get on that schedule. Now, if you are a little bit more chaotic, then maybe pick a different seed and then use the proceeds from selling that to even just afford the other one that are a little bit harder to grow, depending on what you need.
As you get the hang of it, you're going to start making a lot of money in game just from berry farming. I think we concluded this video. Thank you so much, Wood, for being on as the berry expert.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's been fun, my friend.
Ah, great. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Mayor Best Friends YouTube channel. Don't forget to comment or subscribe to my channel, like or dislike the content that you see here. And this is the Mayor Best Friends YouTube channel signing off. PokeMMO Mayor at your service.